Welcome to Tech Commons Tips and Tricks with the Learning Technologies Group, offered through the UCSF Library. Let's get started. In this video, we will review a few frequently asked questions about CLE quizzes. This video is roughly 5 minutes long. Let's get started. Why can't students see their quiz grades? If students report they cannot see their quiz grades in the gradebook, the quiz is either hidden on the course page and needs to be made visible, or review options are not configured correctly for the quiz. Remember, we configured if and when students can see quiz grades on the Edit Settings page in Video 1. Confirm that the Points checkbox is selected under the After the Quiz has closed column to allow students to review quiz grades. A student missed the final exam. How do I let them attempt the quiz after it has closed? We can set up a user override to allow students who missed the final exam due to an excused absence to attempt the quiz, even though it closed on May 20th at 2 p.m. There is a student named John who missed the final exam due to a family emergency. Let's set up a user override so only John can attempt the final exam after the close time. To do this, click the final exam link from the main course page. Navigate to the administration block, and under Quiz Administration, click User Overrides. Go ahead and click the Add User Override button. From the list of students, click John's name to configure the user override. I will use the same password I used for the final exam, and will enable an open time of May 24th at 10 a.m. and a close time of May 24th at 2 p.m. I will enter a 2-hour time limit for the final exam. If I needed to give John a second attempt, I could also do this in a user override. This is John's first and only attempt, so I will leave the attempts allowed at the default 1. If everything looks right, I can click the Save button and will return to the User Overrides page, where I can review, edit, delete, or configure another user override. John is the only student who needs an override, so we are all set and he can start his attempt on May 24th at 10 a.m. How do I remove a question after students attempted the quiz? Something we never want to do is delete a question from a quiz after students have attempted it. The CLE actually prevents us from doing this. If you want to remove a question from the entire quiz for all students, first click the final exam link on the main course page, and from the administration block, go ahead and click Edit Quiz. Make sure you are in the Editing Quiz tab. Scroll down to the question you want to remove. Change the points out of from 1 to 0 next to the question, and click Save. The question will no longer be calculated in the quiz grade. This will not permanently delete the question or students' responses, and we can still see the question and responses in the quiz. You do not need to return to the grades report and run a regrade after changing the weight of a question. How do I accept multiple correct answers for a multiple choice question? If you want to provide multiple correct answers for a question, return to the administration block and select Edit Quiz under Quiz Administration. Navigate to the Editing Quiz tab and click the gear icon next to the question to make any changes. We can change the correct answer or include a second acceptable answer by changing the grade drop-down menu to 100%. I will accept a second correct answer and will change the grade drop-down for answer C to 100%. If you change the correct answer, I can click the Save button and will need to return to the grades report and run a regrade. The CLE will regrade student attempts using the updated question information. If you are hesitant to do this, feel free to click the Dry Regrade button to see the effect the regrade will have on student scores before running the actual regrade. How do I give all students credit for a question? Finally, if you would like to give all students credit for a question, navigate to the administration block and from the Quiz Administration section, click Manual Grading. Click the Also Show Questions that have been graded automatically link, and go ahead and click the Grade All link in the last column. From the grading page, we can give each student a point for the question, and remember to save your changes when done. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have found the series of videos on the quiz activity helpful. Have questions about this video? Contact Learning Tech staff by email, Twitter, or visit our support center at learningtech.ucsf.edu.